Patty Lopez sent me a wonderful email several weeks ago, and it haunted me. And the email was entitled, "I'm perfectly comfortable, thank you." And the email was of all these cats, and I think there was one dog. And they were all sprawled out and curled up in really uncomfortable looking positions, and they were sound asleep. Okay? And if you looked at the email, you'd wonder, how did they even get into some of these positions that they were in? I mean, there was this cat that was coiled up in this flower pot that was at least half its size. And so you wondered, how did he even get in it? But not only how did he get in it, how could he have gotten comfortable enough in it to go to sleep? And as I looked at that email, I said, that's us. That's exactly what we do. We place ourselves in these really uncomfortable situations, and then we fall asleep. We fall asleep, then, and if somebody tries to wake us up, we say, no, I'm perfectly comfortable, thank you. We argue for that limitation to stay there. Now, the interesting thing is that it's okay to put ourselves in difficult situations, okay? It's okay even to get comfortable in that situation because we don't want to be in resistance, okay? We want to recognize, all right, this is okay. But the last thing, we do not want to fall asleep. We do not want to believe that this is what is necessary. We do not want to believe that this is the truth of us. We do not want to believe that we have to be here. And not only do we fall asleep, sometimes we even start feeling lucky that we've got this little flower pot to lay in. Oh, man, because I could be like them. They have even less. But we are not recognizing how much is available to us, how much this power has provided for each and every one of us. Because we're sound asleep and perfectly comfortable. Okay? So saying hello to amazing means saying goodbye, first saying goodbye to the world we thought we lived in. Now, we could do this. We could do this by looking at every single thing in our world and re-examining it, or we could do it another way. We could re-examine our concept of God. Just one thing, just one idea could shift everything. One idea. Now, I want to share something with you this morning that is absolutely amazing. And that is that God is not a loving principle. God is a principle of love. And if you can hear what I just said, you will have just opened the door to amazing. God is not a loving principle. God is a principle of love. And it becomes a wonderful revelation when we recognize that this principle doesn't have the power to withhold from us. But when it becomes an amazing revelation is when we realize that this principle doesn't even have the power to give to us. Uh-oh, Dar, you just crossed the road here. It doesn't even have the power to give to us. If it could give to us, if it could withhold from us, it could give to us. If it could give to us, it could withhold from us. It cannot do either. It has given all. God is not a loving principle. God is a principle of love, and to the degree that we recognize our relationship to that principle, to that degree do we loose that into our experience. That's amazing. Because there's nothing here that can hold back from us. There's nothing here that can even give to us. As Dr. Schuler would say, if it is to be, it's up to me. And that's really how it boils down. It really comes down to the realization within ourselves that this principle that we're working with is not bound by precedent. This principle that we're working with is infinite. The capacity of the principle knows no limit. It knows no boundaries. How much do we know about the principle? How much do we know about ourselves as individualizations of the principle? I am that. I am that. You know, someone wrote once, it might have been me, I don't know. Sometimes I look at my notes and I say, did I write that? That's good, you know? Yeah, amazing, Jerry. Someone wrote once that the three most difficult things that we experience in life are to try to sleep and sleep not, because it's very difficult to be unable to turn off our minds and just be in that restful, regenerative state. Number two, to love someone who loves not, because we want that affection returned to us. But the third one is the one I come to all the time, and that is to wait for someone or something that comes not. See? And that waiting is the one thing that maybe most of us are the most familiar with. To wait for someone that comes not. Because we realize that what we're waiting for, because we haven't realized that what we're waiting for has never even left us. We don't realize that what we're waiting for has never forsaken us. It's right where we are. And yet we're waiting for it. We're waiting for it, and you know, sometimes it looks like, what does it look like in form? Sometimes it looks like a couple of $1 million that'll bail us out. Sometimes it looks like that perfect medication that's going to miraculously heal us. Sometimes it looks like that perfect person who's just going to light up my life. Okay? See, and the only thing that we're waiting for is our own awakening. That what we're looking for has never left us. That what we're looking for has never forsaken us. And the only reason that we don't realize it is because we, like the cat, has crawled up into the flower pot and fallen asleep. Fallen asleep. Wow. So everybody wants to say hello to amazing. Everybody wants to say it. And the biggest reasons that we often find ourselves waiting for that to show up in our lives is because we fail to understand who and what we are. The law says that we must be health in order to experience health, doesn't it? The law says we have to be prosperous in order to experience prosperity. The law says that we must be joy in order to be joy-filled. And for many of us, it sounds like a catch-22. You know what that reminds me of? The first time I heard it, it reminded me of when I was about 18 years old and I went out to look for a job. And nobody would hire me, because they said, we only hire people with experience. And I'm saying, well, how do you get experience if nobody will hire you? Okay? Well, it's the same thing with this. It's like, well, how do you have health if it's not already, if it's not yours? How do you have health if it's not a part of your body? How do you have health if it's not a part of your being? And that's the one thing that we're overlooking. We're overlooking the very thing that is so simple. It is a part of us.